I'm Scott Rechler. I'm CEO of RXR. We're one of the largest owners of office in New York, multifamily throughout the major cities in the U.S., infrastructure, and credit. Yeah, so I think that we're going through a paradigm change of a period where there were ultra low interest rates for a decade plus to a period where we're going to now have more normalized interest rates, and that's going to create a revaluation of all commercial real estate. So anything that was financed or valued or in the old regime is going to need to be recapitalized or refinanced under this new higher interest rate regime, and that's going to create crossing that chasm is a turbulent period of time that's going to impact commercial real estate, and it will have, across all sectors. But on top of that, as it relates to office and multifamily, there's both secular and cyclical issues. If you think about being in the early innings in this process, one is just really recognize which of your asset classes that are exposed to this challenge, which are the capital structures that have an ability to be dealt with today, and if you can modify those capital structures today, that obviously would be something, and capitalize on the opportunities. As I say to our team, it's contain and capitalize, right? Contain where we have the challenges, hit them face on, but then make sure you're capitalizing on the opportunities, because this is going to be one of these moments where when you look back, there'll be some of these back up the truck type investment opportunities, whether that's dealing with being able to play in the credit markets and originate new loans, construction loans in the multifamily space, deal with some of the issues around office and people's sort of painting every office building with the same brush, and then the dislocation of that pricing, that to be able to come in with great entry points in that mix there. So I think having conviction around which sectors you think will do well, and where there are good entry points, and lean into those sectors. From a New Yorker's perspective, the key here is talent drives New York, right? Long term, if there's pools of talent coming into New York, that's a natural resource. So when you look at the metrics to try to determine, what's the long-term future and viability of New York, one of the things to really focus on is what's that inflow of talent, and what are the inflow of the companies coming to tap that talent, and that becomes a self-reinforcing positive cycle that creates the right type of supply and demands for real estate assets in the long term. And being a New Yorker, I see that talent is coming in on a regular basis. I mean, any question that people weren't coming back because of COVID has been answered. They're back. They're back in our apartments, they're back in our restaurants, they're back in our parks, they're back in our office buildings. And so that's an encouraging sign. And I would just say, as when people from other parts of the world look, I mean, the US economy, while I say we're in the early innings of the challenges that real estate's facing, the US economy coming out of COVID is probably best set up when we clear the brush of this excess liquidity for an extended period of growth than any time since post-World War II, because we have all this innovation in science, in medicine, in technology that came through COVID that's now going to be harnessed. And on top of that, we have all this investment in infrastructure, in decarbonization, in the digital transformation, in the impact of deglobalization and onshoring again. So there's a lot of money that's going to be invested in the US that's going to really create a period of above trend growth once we clear that underbrush. If you're in an urban ecosystem that's not functioning, and you're seeing empty buildings, tax revenue challenges, restaurants not able to survive, transit systems under financial strain because they don't have the people there on a full-time basis, the quality of life and crime issues, that has a direct impact on the value of your real estate. So it's critical as someone in the real estate business to take a active civic approach to trying to drive policies to address any deterioration of that urban ecosystem. Listen, I think the first and foremost, it's a humanitarian crisis, right? These people risked their lives to come to New York because New York was the place where it was the land of opportunity. Like this is where the Statue of Liberty is here for a reason, right? We welcome people, we give them the opportunity to come here, and so at first and foremost is for these people that are here, we got to help them have that opportunity, help them go get legal jobs, earn a living, do it in a way where they can have dignity and take care of their families, and then become a responsible member of our communities. Obviously, there's more fundamental issues related to our immigration policies that got to be dealt with, but that can't be solved at the local level. That's got to be solved at the federal level. Yep. But as someone that lives local, if they're here, we're here to help.